Hi there. Today is not Friday. I sort of dropped the ball on that. Today is Monday, May 13th. Um, Sorry, I am a little bit late getting this inventory update out for you. I am going to do something a little bit different today and go through some of the new stuff first. We have a lot of nice ornamental clover available now out on the tables. A lot of new stuff on the herb table. And by the way, we have switched our herb table and our nut table around if you're looking for stuff here. We've got the Topaz St. John's wort in quart pots now. They're getting to be pretty nice sized plants. We have a bunch of yucca for you, and we can take that not for sale sign off of these now. Those are ready to go. An edible ornamental that is hardy here. Zorba red oregano. We've got some nice ones of those for you. The cut leaf coneflower here in quart pots. Again, all of the quart pots, non-grafted stuff, quart pots are 8, and gallon pots like the rhubarb here are 16. Virginia bluebell just starting to come up in the pots here. I know it's been up in the ground for a long time, but we ordered in some bare root Virginia bluebell to have some nice bigger plants for you. We also ordered in some mayapple. Those are coming up nicely there. Those are in gallon pots. Bellwort, which is a really pretty little native wildflower, in quart pots. The Solomon seal isn't up yet. I just had to show you the peacock he's showing off right now. We have a bunch of new pots of the trifoliate orange, the flying dragon hardy citrus. And we have a lot of the little 3-inch pots of those if you want to plant a hedge or something. That's an affordable way to do that. I'm here on some of the back tables, stuff that's ready to go but hasn't gotten put out yet. We do have some mayapples in the quart pots as well. I showed you gallons earlier. And we have 3 nice flats of the Virginia native wild strawberries. Those were potted up a couple weeks ago and are really starting to get established and put on some new growth there. So those will be put out on the sale tables here this week. The vernal witch hazel. We have lots of those in gallon pots and a few 2-gallon pots. That's the Homeleus vernalis, not the Virginiana. These are still little guys, but they're affordable in those little 3-inch pots for $4. We've got cardinal flower and obedient plant. That's down here with all the pond plants. We have some of the Javid's almonds that are just barely ready to go. Darren's been, I don't know, I still have the not for sale tags on these, but Darren's been letting some people go ahead and take them home. Yeah, they were grafted several weeks ago. So that's the hardy Javid's almond, as well as a lot of our peaches are just about ready to go. They're still going to be, the grafts on these are still going to be a little bit fragile for another month or two, but they are putting on a lot of nice new growth. So we've got Reliance, there's more Javid's almond, Harrow diamond. RR is Raritan rose. Had to dig that out of the back of my mind there. Alright, I've been saying we are going to get some of these wild plums out here on the tables, and they're finally out here and looking great. Really starting to take off. We have wild plums in gallons and 2-gallon pots. I don't think we have any 4 gallons. Really, those 2 gallons are like those are actually 3-gallon pots, but I think we're selling those as 2 gallons since we don't have a price category in between 2-gallon and 4-gallon. Those 3-gallon pots will be sold as 2-gallon price. The wild plums have been the only plums that we consistently get here in southern Indiana without any sprays. They are just barely sweet enough to eat fresh, but they make amazing jam and wine. We have some sour cherries, the pie cherries, that are just about ready to go. Carmine Jewel, Montmorency, Balaton. That's all I'm seeing on this side of the table. Okay, back here in the back, these are things waiting to go out on the tables, and they are pretty much ready to go. We have some seedlings of Eastern Prince Magnolia vine. Those we don't know whether they're male or female, but they are available if you want to take a chance on them. 55 kiwi. That's one that we've had in the ground for a while, but it's not just now big enough to start taking cuttings of. And see, Dumbarton Oaks kiwi. That's another one that we've had in the ground for a while and have not had available on the tables for a while. We've got Kentucky Kernel Mint potted up back here. Some of the dwarf bergamot, bee balm, monarda, and some oregano mint. Lots of swamp milkweed seedlings that are getting big enough to sell. A ton of nice yellow groove bamboo that's just sprouted up and starting to look pretty nice. Just the river cane is being a little slower, the native bamboo, but we have a couple up in their pots there. Lots more of the hardy citrus. Some willows back here, the golden corkscrew weeping willow, more of the Greel biomass willow, and dappled willow, and some new ones this year, the American pussy willow. We have just a few of those, and some of the white willow, the one that's more commonly used for medicinal stuff. So all of this year's fig cuttings have been potted up and are starting to establish in their pots, and those all need to get out on the tables. So we've got a lot of Latarula, Syrian Dark, Abu George, Ronde, Bordeaux. Let's see, more Abu George, Chicago Hardy. Sorry, I'm trying to read the codes on the pots back there. It's more Abu George. And I've got a few spice bush for you here. Mostly male spice bush. The females just aren't that vigorous. But we do have like one female spice bush. I think that that one's a male. So there we go. A single female spice bush. These are cutting grown. And we have 2 sweet scarlet gummies there. Those were cuttings from last summer that managed to make it through the winter because they were in a better spot than the rest of our gummies that got frozen. Variegated Myoga ginger. We've been selling the non-variegated type for about a year now, but I just potted up some of the variegated ones. So here's a nice stand of that Myoga ginger in our front flower beds. And it does spread fairly aggressively. So put it a place where you don't mind it doing that. But it is completely hardy. You don't eat the rhizomes like regular ginger. You eat the green shoots when they come up. So and sort of like you would, they're almost like scallions. You just chop them up and throw them in stir fries to add a ginger flavor. Okay, so now I'm going back to the beginning of the nursery here, and I'll just go through everything systematically like I usually do. Show you what our inventory is. So we've still got a nice number of these hen and chick planters. It's a fun one. These are 28, as well as our hen and chick planters and the boots that are hanging on the pergolas. Those are also 28. Alright, we've got some triple crown, mostly quartz. There's 1 gallon there left. We have just 3 Natchez thornless blackberry. Oh, sorry, that triple crown is a thornless blackberry. The Natchez has huge berries, and is a little earlier than triple crown. AAC Eden, that's a thornless summer-bearing red raspberry. Joan J is a thornless ever-bearing red raspberry. Royalty purple raspberry. Jewel black raspberry. Those in quarts and gallons. Lots of quarts of Jewel. Niwot, which is an ever-bearing black raspberry. That one is a really nice, vigorous cultivar. There's another nice hen and chicks boot. Wildwood elderberry, Ranch, Marge, and Bob Gordon were recently potted up from this year's cuttings, but they're ready to go now, finally. And those are in gallons. We will have more of those getting potted up hopefully this week. Still have a very nice selection of blueberries. We have Patriot and quartz, and just 1 early blue. A couple early blue. 1 Berkeley there. Hannah's Choice, Polaris, Aurora, more Polaris, St. Cloud. Lots of Blu-ray and quartz. They're still pretty small. Just a few Phillips Highbush cranberry there in quartz. 1 singular goji berry. A couple Nanking bush cherries in the 2-gallon pots. They're 28 in that size. And a few quart pots of the Nanking cherries. Oh, 1 little tiny 3-inch pot there too. Nero, Aronia, seedlings of Nero that are getting pretty big there in the 2-gallon pots. Viking in gallons and quarts. Mackenzie in gallons and quarts. Mulberries here. We've got 1 red mulberry in the gallons. We have more larger ones down below on the concrete pad. Illinois everbearing, we still have a few quarts of those. Kokuso in gallons. Viola's lavender in quarts. Let's see. Some bigger figs out here from last year or the year before. Magbar, Violette de Bordeaux, Marseille Black, VS. latarula, more latarula, and I know there are a bunch of Chicago hardy that are down by the road that need to be brought up here. Kentucky coffee tree, those are getting pretty big. Probably need to be repotted soon, but we've got gallons and 2 gallons of those. There is an Amorpha fruticosa, the false indigo bush. That is blooming. We have lots of those in quarts. Not lots, but over half a tray. Some thornless honey locusts. In the 3-inch pots there, when they're that small, there's not a guarantee that they're thornless. A small percentage of them do end up getting thorns. But we have some 2-gallon size thornless honey locusts that are plenty big enough that you know those are actually thornless. A few Siberian pea shrub. Alright, just a few random oaks. Hickories in gallon pots. Jaw tack, shellbark hickory. A few DuPont, seedlings of DuPont, and those are seedlings of jaw tack. Sorry, not the actual grafted variety. Some improved black walnut seedlings in gallons, and also 2-gallon pots. Some of those are butternuts there. They've all gotten mixed together. A whole bunch of Chinese chestnuts in 2-gallon pots, and a few in gallon pots. This is all of our hazelnuts that we have left at the moment, but we do have some young seedlings starting to sprout. We've got a few, about 5 or 6 quarts of the hybrid hazelnuts, a nice flat of the 3-inch hybrid hazelnuts, gallon and quart native eastern hazelnuts. Autumn brilliant service berries in gallons, and about half a flat of quarts of those left. Okay, 1-gallon pears will be potted up pretty soon. We've got Bosc, Honey Sweet, Korean Giant, Shinseki, Red Claps, and Shenandoah. Alright, in the 4-gallon pots, oh wait, no, those are 2 gallons. We've got Kefir, Sunrise. These are all pears still. Let's see, Potomac, more Potomac, Honey Sweet, Magnus, Shenandoah, 1 big 4-gallon Shenandoah, a big 4-gallon Honey Sweet, or is it Harrow? No, that's Harrow Sweet, and a Blake's Pride in the 4-gallon pot. The sweet cherries, oh wait, no, we've got 1 sour cherry left there, or 2. We have an Aspera sour cherry and a CKVL sour cherry left. And then I mentioned earlier the 1-gallon new grafts are over there of the sour cherries that we have a wider variety of. And then in the sweet cherries, those are all Sam sweet cherry in 2-gallon pots. We still have that 1 red ornamental peach, 1 tiger tooth jujube here, but I think there are some more on the table next to the grapes. A ginkgo, some pretty nice big Chinese, Japanese raisin tree. Some bigger mulberries down here in 2-gallon pots. We have Lucille, Taylor, GH1, Korean Kakuso, acai, dwarf, a couple white fruiting mulberries, and then our native red mulberry in the 2-gallon pots. Those red mulberries, we don't know yet whether they're male or female, although that actually gets kind of complicated with our red mulberry. So at least 2 or 3 chestnut crabs. That's a sweet eating crab apple, smaller, just a smaller fruit, but a dessert apple flavor. Liberty on dwarf fruit stock. We still have a few of those. Sorry, I'll try and go a little faster here. Molly's Delicious. We've got one 4-gallon pot, a bunch of 2-gallon pots, red free, all in 2-gallon pots there. Oh, and all of those are semi-dwarf except for the Liberty, which are just, we only have dwarf. Alright, down here at the canoe pond, we have some nice pink water lilies. We have those in anywhere, I think there are some little guys in quarts down there, as well as some gallons, and these bigger ones that are flowering over here are 2-gallon size. The 2 gallons are 28, quarts are 8, gallons are 16, and then we've got a 1-gallon Wanvisa variegated water lily there that is a tier 2 plant, so that is 24. And the native yellow American Lotus is here in both 2-gallon pots and 1-gallon pots. That is a tier 1 plant. And I'm on the wrong side of my pond now. Got some soft stem bulrush, some curly rush, horsetail, spiderwort, lots of lizard tail, which has been a really, really vigorous grower for us. Spreads invasively, but it is a native, for what that's worth. Some sweet flag and variegated sweet flag. Marshmallow, that's just starting to come up there. One soft brush, and lots of spiderwort. Oh, and I showed you the cardinal flower and obedient plant at the beginning of the video. Here in our clearance corner, we have some basswood trees still, and I think a couple nanny berries and some seedling ginkgo that hopefully we're gonna graft this year so that you know what they are. Then they won't be in clearance anymore. There's, I don't know what that hazelnut's doing there. I don't think that hazelnut belongs there. Some figs that are varieties that haven't done the best for us, so we threw them down here on the clearance table. And hybrid poplars, pawpaws. We still have a really nice selection of most of the varieties. We've got some seedling pawpaws here. Those are seedlings from improved varieties, except for the one marked W, that would have been a wild seedling. Yeah, those are just $8 in the quart pots. And then the grafted pawpaws are 16 in quart pots and 24 in the gallons. So we have Layman's Delight, Jerry's Big Girl, Alhorn White Flesh, Chappelle, Mango, Maria's Joy, Davis, NC1, Naomi's Delight, Summer Delight, Mango, Overlease, Atwood, Benny's Favorite, Davis, Mango, Sunflower, Chappelle, Benson, and Halvin Sidewinder. Gooseberries, Pixwell, and Candy Sweet. Right now we just have gooseberries in the gallons there. We are out of the Josta berries. No Jostas left. I don't like them anyways. You shouldn't plant them. Nancy May black currant, Tybin black currant, red currant, Jonquier Van Tet's red currant, just one of those left. Lewis R black currant, Nancy May black currant, and an unnamed variety that has been one of the more vigorous ones for us. All right, some orange basket willow in gallon pots, some dappled willow in quart pots, but we have nicer ones of those in the back too that are coming out this week. Dickey Meadows basket willow in a gallon. Lots of Cornus Cusa, that's the Asian dogwood that gets flowers like our native dogwood, but flowers a little later and isn't susceptible to the diseases that our native ones are getting. Cornelian cherry, it's an edible dogwood. Oh, I should say the Cornus Cusa, the reason we carry that actually is because it does have edible fruit, although it's one of those, you know, sort of edible. I mean, they are edible, they're just not terrific. Tiger tooth, jujube in a 2-gallon pot there. Yeah, and like I said, the Cornelian cherry, these are all seedlings of improved varieties. That's what all those names are on the pots, but don't worry about that. And one big apple, Cornus Cusa, in a 2-gallon pot there. That's 36. We do have, so our seedless Che, a lot of them got frozen. We've had a few that made it, so there's one. They've been really slow to leaf out, though. I would like to see them leafed out a little bit more before they go home, because we did have one that we thought made it that didn't end up leafing out properly. But so there are a couple promising ones left there. We've sold all the others that actually leafed out. A nice selection of female muscadines. No pollinators for those at the moment, but I have some cuttings that should be ready to go in a couple, several weeks. The European grapes, we've got some Canadice, Steuben, Reliance, lots of Concord, Vidal. We still have some sea kale left in the quart pots there. Those are seedlings of lily white sea kale. Lots of the sunchokes. And there's some non-variegated Myoga ginger. And some wild ground nuts there in the quart pots. We've got more wild ground nuts up. Those need to get moved up to the herb table, is where I'm going to be keeping those now. Ken's Red, hardy kiwis. Lots of acai hardy kiwis. They're all like setting fruit in their pots. I don't expect them to do much, but it's sort of fun when they actually flower in their pots there. Ananasnaya hardy kiwi, that's a female, and then lots of male hardy kiwis, including some Fairchild male and Oppitz male. Toyo Nishiki, flowering quince in gallons and quarts. Cameo quince in quarts. Pseudosidenia sinensis quince. It's a Chinese quince that gets ornamental bark. Some nice ginkgos. The peacock doesn't like that car that just passed. What do you think, buddy? Goldspire ginkgo, Eastern Star, which is a female variety, Salem Lady, which is a female variety, and lots more Goldspire. Lots of wild ginger, a few sensitive ferns. I already went over these at the beginning of the video, but bellworts and mayapple. The ramps are still available, but they're totally dormant now. An ostrich fern, some Virginia bluebells, a native purple flowering raspberry, that's an ornamental native shrub, dwarf crested iris, that's our little native woods iris that you see around streams around here. Lots of rhubarb in gallon pots, some random herbs like yarrow and dianthus, rosemary, a couple of rosemary there, a few horseradish left, the cutleaf coneflower that has edible leaves, sochan is the other name for it, Zorba red oregano, the yuccas I already talked about, St. John's wort, the ornamental clovers I already talked about. Oh, a few bush clover. These guys had gotten just buried in the weeds earlier, and I just unearthed them. So they're still greening up a little bit, but they're pretty fast-growing, vigorous plants. Pink fountains is the only one that's available at the moment. Some nice big wild groundnut there in gallon pots. Just one LSU groundnut left. Some little baptisia that aren't quite ready to go yet. I mean, I don't know, you could take them home, but I'd like to see those get bigger. And some other, few other random tiny baptisia that I'd like to see get bigger before they go home. Some sweetgrass, catmint, some various monardas, and there's a eastern red columbine. Those are the wild bergamot, monarda bee balm, and some garden bee balm, some catnip, some sage, that's a sage that's flowering there, some more columbine, some Himalayan silver mint, a couple big leaf mountain mint left, and some Virginia mountain mint. Those are the two native mountain mints there. Some swamp milkweed, one candied fruit mint, perennial sorrel in gallons and quarts. And I'll just end the video with a nice little shot of the baptisia blooming there.